Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
Taking a cue from the Rivers State government, which is currently engaged in a manhunt for operators of illegal refineries, the government of Bayelsa State recently issued a stern warning to artisanal crude oil refiners to desist forthwith or be ready to face the consequences of their actions. In their reaction, observers of unfolding events in the ongoing campaign against illegal oil bunkering and refining in the Niger Delta are calling on oil-producing states to establish modular refineries with a view to incorporating artisanal refiners into the value chain of crude oil production in Nigeria. As part of efforts to halt illegal crude oil refining in the Niger Delta, the federal government recently reiterated its commitment to establish 18 modular refineries as an alternative source of livelihood for artisanal oil refiners. In a recent statement issued by her ministry, Minister of State for Environment Sharon Ikiazo said the federal government will train artisanal crude oil refiners on environmental management, including skills required for oil spill management and remediation. This is not the first time the federal government is disclosing its intention to legalize operations of artisanal crude oil refiners with the establishment of modular refineries. In February 2017, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo had disclosed plans by the federal government to establish modular refineries that will absorb artisanal crude oil refiners and provide them with alternative source of livelihood. However, the Vice President later observed in 2021 that the cost of establishing the promised modular refineries was too huge for the federal government to bear alone. In view of the back-and-forth posturing of the federal government, most Niger Deltans are beginning to doubt if its renewed commitment to the establishment of modular refineries in the region is with sincerity of purpose. However, National Chairman of Host Communities Producing Oil and Gas in Nigeria, HOSCOM, Benjamin Tamaranebi, and National Technical Secretary of the body, High Chief George Bokno, want anxious communities in the Niger Delta to give the federal government the benefit of doubt.
It's a good one, and that will give to curb part of these black suits and environmental degradation and some other issues that actually affected our communities.
Provide the modular refinery, yes, agreed. Make it easier for the people, the indigenes, to participate.
The planned establishment of modular refineries in the Niger Delta offers a win-win for artisanal crude oil refiners who will be offered a legal window to carry on with their business, and the federal government, which will no longer experience untold losses as a result of massive oil theft. In his analysis of delayed action in the establishment of modular refineries, Austin Ayodele Momodu, a professor of economics at the Rivers State University, maintains that state governments in the Niger Delta ought not to have waited on the federal government to roll out the long-anticipated refineries.
State governments can. Those states that just set up a modular refinery, they can. The state governments can do that. And see, in fact, I will not even suggest that the federal government that should come and take over such things. The states can get involved and mop up these boys from the creeks and properly engage them.
The Niger Delta region is the melting pot of Nigeria's petroleum industry, which is the backbone of the nation's economy. To the dismay of one-time national president of the Ijaw Youth Council, Udeng Seradiri, state governments in the Niger Delta have failed to invest in the petroleum industry to increase participation of Niger Deltans.
Over 30 years, people, generals and all kinds of people have been mining gold in Zamfara until a governor decided that this gold, we will use it to build financial strength of the state. Our Niger Delta governors, I keep asking them a simple question. Did Buhari stop any of them from setting up their own oil company? For instance, a Bayelsa oil company that will be doing logistics, that will be doing storage, that will be doing filling stations. Did Buhari stop them? The law did not stop them. Did they stop us from setting ourselves and say, okay, since our illegal miners are producing and supplying Nigeria, 70% of Nigeria's AGO is coming from the region, can governors of the Niger Delta come together and buy this oil from these boys and further process it, or do the distribution in a legal way They are not.
As William Ubulum, a professor of education, observed, state governments in the Niger Delta will benefit immensely by investing in the entire value chain of crude oil production. With regard to the establishment of modular refineries, Professor Ubulum says it will have an almost immediate positive impact on the economy of the Niger Delta.
The modular refinery, they can establish it to boost the economy of the states, to also curb unemployment matters in the state, to also produce these mineral resources for those in the states to benefit from. The oil is coming from here. Whichever state that is known as oil producing state should be able to do that.
At an economic summit in Asaba, the Delta State capital, 6 states of Nigeria's South-South geopolitical zone established the BRACE Commission in 2012 to promote regional economic integration. The idea was to take advantage of the region's huge oil deposits to invest heavily in the various sectors of the Nigerian economy to better the lives of their citizens. Unfortunately, the BRACE Commission, which was conceived as a regional economic bloc, has since been laid to rest by successive state governors pursuing their individual political agenda. With a growing uncertainty about the future of the Niger Delta in an imminent post-oil economy, state governments are expected to rise to the occasion. However, before crude oil is finally relegated to the background as Nigeria's economic mainstay, most Niger Deltans want state governments in their region to make hay while the sun shines. It's on this note that they call on state governments in the Niger Delta to immediately establish modular refineries and begin to get returns on their investments.
Inside the Niger Delta,